Hello and welcome. This is Ayana Lahi, and I am so very happy that you're here with me today in this week's episode of Be One, Be You. We are diving into the theme, Parting Your Red Sea. I'd love to invite you to think about an image, an archetype that gives you strength. An archetype meaning an image, a feminine and or masculine image that gives you the key to seeing who you are, seeing what you do, seeing yourself in a bigger form. We are honoring Passover, Pesach, and each holiday that exists in our global collective is meant to be honored. And there's a deep reason for every holiday. This holiday is an honoring of the Last Supper that was with Yeshua, the Christed One, who had come back to Israel after being away from the age of 13 to the age of 28. And for 5 years he taught. And the Last Supper, the last dinner that he had with his 12 disciples was a completion and a new beginning. This Last Supper was Passover. It commemorates freedom. It commemorates being in exile and walking through one's own inner desert and outer desert for 40 days and 40 nights until liberation was given. Have you ever spent 40 days practicing one thing? Maybe it would be refraining from a negative thought about someone or yourself. Perhaps it would be not eating sugar for 40 days and seeing what you felt like. Perhaps it would be 40 days of being non-reactive, of choosing to not give in to anger that has been covering up your deeper feelings for decades. What does it really feel like to be persecuted and to fear for one's life, to be a slave in bondage to someone else? In your evolutionary cycle, you have been almost every race on Earth. And when you track back the reality of being everything at some time, and if you haven't been yet, you will, both man and woman, different colored skins in different lifetimes, being born in different countries, different nationalities, so that you can become whole, universal, where you end living in separation. During the time of Passover in Egypt, it was a caste system, one body of power ruled over another. We still live in the same structure. So I'd like to invite you to pull up an archetype, an image within inside of yourself of how you keep yourself in separation from what you really want, what you really feel, and who you truly are. And most of all, separate from the source. Our minds are filled in illusion. We have to go beyond the mind and rediscover our unique relationship, connection with the infinite source. That infinite source is what guides every person when they have turned to face something greater than their lower self, the part of ourself that creates separation, judging, condemning, hating. We first do it to ourselves out of fear of being who we are, and then we end up doing it to someone else. So Moses, as the story goes, parted the Red Sea. Was that literal? Is that real? There are so many interpretations of it online. So what's your gut feeling? What do you think? Was there an earthquake that parted the sea? Did Moses, as a perfect master in training, that didn't get all the way there because he turned away from the burning bush? He couldn't handle that light of God. That takes a lot of preparation. What do you turn away from? What do you believe? What do you separate from? And are you willing to go through your greatest resistance? To go through your greatest belief system? And to leave it right now at the base of a tree, in a little treasure chest that you put in the corner of the room. And you can decide about if you want to bring it back later, but for right now, it'd be really interesting to give yourself the opportunity to put aside a belief. What is it that you really are yearning for in this life? When you really get down to it. It might be enough money to pay your bills each month easily. It might be that you don't have to work so hard for the rest of your life. Perhaps it's meeting God face to face. What is it that you want? What is it that you're willing to give up everything or almost everything for? Is it to know who you are? Is it to discover the way the universe works? How does one part a sea? How does one create a miracle? Well, the universe is built upon the infinite power that is miraculous. Whatever you imprint with your mind, heart, desire goes into the universe. And you can draw to you what it is that you really want. But there's a big but here. What are you going to do when you get it? Do you have the inner preparation? If you want to become a really great musician, have you really practiced? Have you gone the route of humbling yourself in a true way, of losing your identity to what you do, and connecting into that infinite source so that you can become more than what you could do yourself through your own limitations. I'm going to invite you to not pass over your life. And yes, I know the original story is the angel of death passes over, and that is the will of God. When you align yourself to the will of God and not your lower will, you shift your life. Sometimes it gets more difficult because you have to unwind the impressions and the beliefs, the imprints within your own psyche that are called sanskaras. They are imprints, impressions. Through our decisions, through our beliefs, through our reactions, through our actions, through what we are trying to be. Every race, every religion on earth has its sanskaric patterns. When we get through the core basic patterns, such as I'm better than you, or my religion is better than you, and we look for the common links. The common link, the big one, is that you are a soul. We are all a soul of light. In the center of every cell is a spark of light. That spark of light exists in you, magnified, intensified. When you ignite your thinking processes through the light within you, you change everything. You can access direct information. You let go of needing to be a certain way. You let go of wanting to be seen a certain way. You allow yourself to become who you are. One of the greatest lessons that every soul comes to is to let go of their way and let go into having to control how things always have to be. And the shortcut to parting your Red Sea is turning to the miraculous light within you. It's right there in your torso. It's this brilliant light. You find it first by looking into your heart center. There's a flicker, there's a flame. And as you focus into that flame, it begins to awaken, open your consciousness that is always connected into the eternal existence, divine source. The communication to infinite source, God, is love. When you send a prayer through love and you connect to God into its essence and what God is all about, your prayers are responded to. You have to let go of holding on to all the ways that you try to control everything around you. Try to fit in because that's what you were raised to do. You have to let go of escaping, running away from yourself, and face the burning bush inside. You want to face and see the way that the power of universal intelligence within you is guiding you, supporting you, always initiating you, awakening you to your next level. Why? Because you are part of the whole. The entire universe is made up of all of the consciousness of light. There is awakened infinite consciousness and unawakened infinite consciousness. You may look at someone and go, I don't get it. Why don't they understand this? Why are they still doing their thing their way? Why are country leaders, heads of state, prime ministers, presidents doing things their way? Are they really tapped in to the source within so that one can see and feel and get the bigger picture? We all have had an injustice. We all have been on the side of the perpetrator, and all of us have been on the side of the victim. If you set yourself free from identifying with having to be for or against, and you choose to be non-reactionary, doesn't mean you can't stand in the truth. Speak your truth, be your truth. But it's got to shift on our planet right now to end coming from the illusion truth, which isn't truth. It's a perspective. It's an opinion. It's a point of separation. The only way back into the wholeness perspective, so you could part your own Red Sea of your life, that red, fiery life force energy is moving through you. It's the staff of life. It's the cobra. It's the power in your own body that is connected to the truth, true life, infinite intelligence. It's inside of you. So when you focus into the light flowing in through the top of your head, up through your feet, and you bring it into your root center, the space between your pubic center and tailbone, your lower belly, your navel, inside your body towards your spine, your solar plexus under your rib cage in the center. You have to dive down from being in your head all the way down into your body, into the solar plexus, the center of your emotions. And here you meet a center point, the entry where creation and you meet, where God and creation meet. God being the life, light, energy, love. Creation is the feminine power. It's the evolution of all life, the evolutionary development of your consciousness has been through creation. And when you stop and you think about it, as a human, what are the miracles that can happen because you've entered into a higher state of being, because you've come through the biological evolutionary journey of life. And you are a spark of divine intelligence, now in human form, awakening. So I'd like to invite you to think of something, feel something, or think, feel at the same time, something that feels impossible to you, and give yourself the opportunity to bust through your willingness to not play victim or perpetrator, to be willing to honor your grief, the sorrows of your life, the grief and the sorrows of others, what's happening in the world. And make the choice that's here for you to make every single day is a choice of where you're going to place your attention, your focus, and how you are going to interact with the life force energy itself. How much do you love you? To part your life energy, your Red Sea, the ocean of life, the ocean of energy inside of you, you have to make a choice of what you really want to go for. And if it's a cycle of hatred and creating pain and suffering for others, it's going to come back around, because everything in this world has an opposite. Because this dimension that we are in, the physical plane, is one of duality. So you have to find the opposite. If you don't want to, if you hate yourself, you want to love yourself. If you have run from yourself, you want to come back and face yourself, walk toward yourself. To find your way to your Red Sea, you have to navigate. You have to follow your compass. You want to follow your inner guide that's taking you. That inner guide, when it's the real one, is connected right in to the eternal existence, right into the heart of God. And there you meet yourself. There you meet the source of what you're really all about. And then make that decision to harness that energy from your heart, from your lower belly and heart put together. And check out the meditations, all the Be Light meditation that are the meditations that are given, taught, shared, guided in all of the programs, the courses and trainings in the Spirit Gateways Institute. I want to invite you to go beyond what you think is possible and know that within you is that divine spark that has the ability, because it is the core essence of all life right within you, that you have that here now to focus into and to sit and be here in this light energy, light power that is within you. In the Evolutionary Empowerment Global Village membership program, you are given an enormous amount of guidance through a mentoring group, if you choose or not to choose to be part of the mentoring group. But in all the courses, you are given the Be Light meditation. You are given movement, the actual tools, and the roadmap, the pathway back into you, so that you can discover and live and be in your true self and live in direct relationship with who you truly are, and be able to part your Red Sea and experience living your life as a miracle. If you haven't yet gone to my website to subscribe and check out the membership program, the Global Village membership, it is truly an evolutionary empowerment experience. You can go to my website, Ayana Lahi, IANALAHI.com. I want to wish you, send you, hold you, and co-create with you your highest life, being the very best you in your life, so that this lifetime is different than all of your previous ones, finding greater harmony and balance, true integration, and entering into the oneness within yourself that is your liberation point. Thanks so much for joining me, holding you in deep love. This is Ayana Lahi.